good morning, good afternoon, good evening guys, wherever you are in the world. Hope you are doing well. A little bit of an update today. We're back down in the marina and got some news. I've upgraded the boat. As you can see, this is going to be fantastic to take around the world. So let's hop on board and we'll go and have a look at it. Just kidding, my boat's over here. This one would set you back I think about £5 million for this boat. I'm sure it's incredible, but I don't think it would take me around the world. I've got a better chance of getting around the world in my own boat. But it is nice, isn't it? Never abandoned mindset. It's an incredible boat. The work and effort it took to get this means a lot to me, and I'm very lucky. I also wouldn't have it if it wasn't for all my partners that have believed in me when maybe some other people didn't, but they did. They took a risk and they helped me get the boat. So I love this boat. I will never swap this boat. This boat will somehow get me around the world. We'll make sure of that. So let's go on, and we're going to faff about today. I need to go through my mast climbing setup, so we're going to get that out, have a look, just generally faff around. A little bit of an update for you today. Let's go. Okay, so what we're going to do, it's been a few weeks since I started up the engine, so it's quite good every few weeks just to run it up, make sure there's no leaks. Just sometimes when you leave things or you don't use them, they can that's when you actually have problems. If you use something on a regular basis, it tends to stay working. So we're going to just lift the cover back. Here we go. This will now come back. And we have our engine here. So what I do is, before I start it up, I generally do a bit of a visual inspection. Make sure there's nothing obvious, so there's no oil everywhere or water or wires hanging off, or make sure the fan belt, alternator belt is all good, and I just kind of get my head around it before I actually do anything. So it's good. I can't see, but I tell you what, I have just found a small Jubilee clip and I dropped that in the engine bay a while ago, so make sure there's no water or oil or anything that shouldn't be where it is. So I'll just check the oil. Here's the dipstick. So there we go, there's your marks. Let's have a look, shall we? See where it is. Okay, can you see, there's the oil there, there's the top mark, there's a bottom mark, that's perfect. Now a lot of people fill up to the top, and the engineer who helped install this engine said to me, you never want the oil to be right at the top mark, you want it sort of just below it. Some people might disagree. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you top the oil right up to the top when you're filling up your car? I always did, until he said don't do that, you want it just underneath. So I learned something. So the oil's good. If we were to top up, we would put some oil in the top here, but we don't need to. This is the header tank, so your water goes in here. Yeah, I can see it all. Oh, that's good. Fan belt's nice and tight. I think we can look at starting this bad boy up. Right, let's put the cover back on. So it's now turned on. The alarm that you can hear is because there's no oil pressure.
So you want that alarm. If the engine was running and the oil pressure stopped, as in there was no pressure, this alarm would come on. Or if it's overheating, so this is a good thing. Now what I'm doing is it's diesel engine, so I'm now just heating up the glow plugs, and in a second we'll fire this up. There you go, oil pressure's come straight up. The alarm's gone off, so that's good. So this is all started up nicely. What I now do is go out the back to make sure the water that's cooling the engine is circulating and being pumped out. What keeps this engine cool is seawater being pumped in, and it goes round a heat exchanger and gets pumped out the back. So I'll show you. Go out here. So that's what I'm talking about here. That's actually seawater which is being circulated through the heat exchanger on the engine, and it's being pumped out. If that wasn't pumping out water, we would turn the engine off because it would overheat potentially quite quickly. But that's good. So we'll let the engine run for 5 minutes, just bring it up to temperature, and then that's another job done. We know it's working well, it's all good, it should do, it's basically brand new. And it's nice to just keep it going. Yeah, I was on the boat the other day actually, and someone said, why your tiller, this is the tiller, it needs to be painted. It had some holes in it, so I repaired it, fiberglassed it up. It just needs to be painted orange. I was trying to figure out whether I should spray it, but I'll probably just roller it, just tidy it up. I quite like things to look nice, but what's really more important on the boat is not necessarily the cosmetics, it's how it works. That's way more important than it's something painted nicely, although I do like things to be painted and look smart. I mean, if I have the time and potentially the funding, I would actually like to repaint the deck on this boat, but it would be a massive job. It would take a couple of weeks to do it. It would need to be rubbed down, lots of the area would need to be prepared and then painted, so it's not a 5-minute thing. But if I can, I will. Cool. There is a never-ending list of jobs on the boat. So this is the Starlink, super important. This is how I'm connected to people. So I have internet as I go around the world, and it's incredible. If you've not heard of Starlink, it's just amazing. But the mount that this sits on here, you can see, is broken, and that would last 5 minutes in a big sea. So I put these like restraining support braces on, but actually I'm going to take them off, and I'm probably going to have a stainless steel 4-legged mount for this. So I need to spend quite a bit of time on this and have something fabricated up. I'm thinking about taking this solar panel out and actually having this mounted down here, and then relocating this panel somewhere else. I'm not really sure, but there's quite a bit of work and thought that needs to go into fixing this, and what's the best solution, because in a big sea, when a wave hits this, I don't want to lose the Starlink. That's important. We need this. And then you've got your camera here, looking back into the cockpit. Okay, so another thing that I need to get round to replacing at some point. This Garmin GPS works perfectly. It's a chart plotter. It shows you where you are. It's a GPS basically. And these are repeater screens. You can see the information on them. It's displaying speed over ground, which would be 0 because we're not going anywhere at the moment. It gives you your course over ground, and it gives you your wind angle and your wind speed. Now every now and then these things are freezing up on me, which is a bit of a pain. They're old units, so at some point I'm going to have to try and maybe replace these with something a little bit newer, but again it's just more cost. The information that's displayed on these repeater screens, I can get the information elsewhere on the NK multi-graphic displays, but I really like these displays, and it's very quick and easy to see the information that I need to see. So I noticed the last time I was sailing that these packed up and basically you've got to turn them off, the whole system off to turn them on again. It's just a bit of a pain, but they're old and that's what happens. So another thing to add to the to-do list.